Yeah, you saw the title of this video, but to be honest, it's just clickbait. Like, man, you probably saw this video. You saw how long it was, and you're like, "What is this guy talking about?" Like, the game's not even out yet. You know, because we now live in a culture. It's not even really a culture. It's more like a stupid internet stuff. But we now live in a timeline where just about anything can be considered "quote unquote" woke or whatever. Like that whole Ghost of Yote game is not even out yet, and people are already assuming it's going to be woke because the character isn't that attractive and is a female, and apparently the voice actor is pretty politically leaning towards a certain side. I don't know. I'm not really that terminally online enough to really know what the controversy with that voice actor is. But I mean, overall, though, I mean, let's wait for the game to come out at least because from the trailers, I mean, it looks like a decent game. Personally, I never really liked Ghost of Tsushima. Well, actually, I don't think it's bad or nothing. I think it's an okay game. It's just that gameplay wise, it got very repetitive, and the stealth isn't as good as other stealth action games like Metal Gear Solid or the Batman Arkham games. I prefer those games stealth way more than Ghost of Tsushima because like in something like Ghost of Tsushima, right, you can like just crawl in some grass and the enemies will immediately lose sight of you. While in something like the Batman Arkham games or in this game, Metal Gear Solid, or any Metal Gear Solid game in general, you got to be a lot more strategic and creative with your stealth. You know, the stealth in Ghost of Tsushima is just too darn basic. And look, I get it. It's a samurai game, but the game does encourage you to use stealth. I mean, after all, it's literally a story about a samurai who gives up the samurai code, right, and has to use less honorable tactics to take down a Mongolian army. Which, to be honest, you kind of don't even really need to use those less honorable tactics because the game isn't that hard. Like, I'm not joking. By the time I got to Ghost of Tsushima on the second island, I was. Oh crap! Did the enemy see me? What's going on? Okay, they don't suspect me. By the time I got to the second island of Ghost of Tsushima, I was just bored. And, like, I can see why people like the game. I just personally couldn't get into it. Another big problem with Ghost of Tsushima is that there's really nothing to do in the game's open world. And look, I know that can apply for other games like Red Dead Redemption 2 or this game I'm playing right now, Metal Gear Solid 5. But yeah, I'm still not interested in Ghost of Tsushima's open world. Like, at least in Red Dead Redemption 2, you can come into all sorts of crazy, wacky, random encounters and hunt animals and stuff. While in this open world game, yeah, there's really not much to do in this game's open world either, but it's not that big anyway. Personally, when it comes to open world games, though, I usually prefer something like Bully or one of the Yakuza games because an open world that's not too big but also has a lot of stuff going for it. Like, you'd be surprised how much stuff you can do in Yakuza Zero. There's so many mini games and so many interesting, funny, wholesome, sad side quests and whatnot. And the game is set in such a small city that you don't even really need a car to get around. You can just like walk. You can just run through the entire city in like minutes. Uh, but yeah, man, Ghost is like. But let's wait for Yote to come out before we judge it. All right. I mean, will it be woke? We don't know yet. To be honest, the word woke has been kind of just ruined now because so many people, especially like, sorry for burping. So many people just, especially the freaking conservatives and the grifters on YouTube, they like to use that word unironically, and it's just painful to hear because now we don't even really know what woke means at this point. Like I go on Facebook, right, and I do some shit posting on Facebook and other websites, and I'm like, okay, define the word woke. And I get a different definition every time. Like, oh wait, woke is when something has gay in it. No, no, something a game having gay in it isn't woke at all, which is crazy because people like Synthetic Man and other anti woke people complain about the gay part in Spider-Man 2. Like, they call that woke propaganda. Apparently, yeah, woke propaganda is whenever you have like gay people in it. I guess Dragon Quest 11, One Piece, Dragon Ball Z is all woke propaganda. Red Dead Redemption 2, woke propaganda, man. Like, yeah, every game needs to just be like Call of Duty and not be woke. Oh wait, no. I'm sorry. Call of Duty has you murdering Nazis for fun. My bad. What's the game that's not woke? Oh, I know. Uh, Pac-Man. Oh, wait, never mind. The game Pac-Man also has Miss Pac-Man. Yeah, that's DEI right there. Having a woman. That's another thing. A game is woke nowadays if the character is a female character. For example, The Witcher 4 is woke because Ciri doesn't look as hot anymore, and now you play as a girl instead of Geralt. Which I look. I think it's interesting that you play as Ciri. I don't. I agree with people. She doesn't look that attractive, but Geralt's story was technically already finished by the last book, and the game's just expanded that universe, you know. And by The Witcher 3, it was definitely over. I haven't even read it. I haven't even read the Witcher books or anything like that. I just read them on a wiki and just got the general plot from there. The last book for The Witcher 4 ends on a pretty depressing note. Like, I won't spoil it, but they kind of make me happy that we got the game, you know, to actually give Geralt a proper, more cool conclusion depending on which ending you get. Because the way the book ended, I was like, wow, I can't believe it ended that way. Um, yeah, that's all I gotta say. So, but yeah, I mean, my problem with Ghost of Yote, the reason I'm not buying it is because it looks more of the same. And look, there's nothing wrong with that. If a game is more of the same, for example, I like Yakuza games. Those games, they do change up things every sequel and whatnot, but they are more or less more of the same, like same setting, uh, same combat styles and whatnot. But I still love those games anyway because even though they do have a lot of the same stuff in each game, you know, they still have interesting story, characters, mini games, and the combat's fun. But and the thing about this Ghost of Yote game is that the gameplay just doesn't look like it appeals to me. It looks like something that we already saw in Ghost of Tsushima. But hey, if people like what Ghost of Tsushima offered, that's understandable. I mean, if the gameplay actually is a way better and way different, maybe I will buy it. You know what I'm looking forward to? Final Fantasy Tactics. Like Jesus Christ, man, that game hasn't been available on modern consoles for like decades. Like nowadays, if you want to legally, well, not anymore coming this September, but or at the end of September. But nowadays, or back then, the only way to legally play Final Fantasy Tactics was to A, get the crappy mobile version, B, get it on PSP, okay, B, get it on PSP, which nobody wanted. Nobody wanted a PSP back then. Or or C, get a PlayStation 1 or PS3 and use the PS3 to digitally download the game. Now, as someone who has a PS3, I have it as more as like, I literally only use it to play Metal Gear Solid 4. Other than that, the PS3 is just a useless hot box. You know, it wasn't that expensive to get. And nowadays, they don't even sell PS3s in GameStop stores, as far as I can tell. Like, you literally have to go online or find like one of those nerdy stores to actually get a PS3. They're just as old. Like, I mean, they're not as old as a PS2, but they're pretty much freaking old. Like the PS3 is almost or already is 20 years old, right? And like I should nobody should have to buy a 20-year-old console just to play a classic game. Like, why was the Final Fantasy Tactics ported a long time ago? Like it should have been immediately available on the PSN. Like the whole game preservation is low key pissing me off because, like, look, I didn't like. Okay, actually, I like Resident Evil 2, the original. I like it just fine. But that I have my issues with it. But I feel like even then, that game, even though I didn't like it that much, it should have been preserved and ported onto PSN like way sooner, not until 2025. Like I'm happy it's available now. I'm happy both Resident Evil 2 and 3 are available now, not the remakes, not just the remakes. But geez, man, why does it take so long for these? Oh crap! I woke back up. Why does it take so long for these people to just port old video games? You know, it's not that hard, and it's essentially you're getting free money. You know, like it's such an easy because people do like nostalgia. There are nostalgic gamers out there, such as myself, that love playing classic video games. Like, and hurry up and put freaking Chrono Trigger on modern consoles. Like I have Chrono Trigger on Steam, and It sucks, man. Like, the problem with Chrono Trigger on Steam is that I tested this out on two different laptops, and the game still frequently randomly crashes. It hurts, man. Like, the game auto saves a lot. Don't get me wrong, but when a game just crashes in a JRPG, that just bugs me. Like, wow, all that grinding I just did in the previous area was kind of all for nothing. Thanks for crashing on me. And like I said, I'm like, it's so weird because my gaming PC, it can handle games like Far Cry 3 and Batman Arkham Knight at 60 FPS, no crashing, whatnot, maximum graphics or whatever, and they work just fine. But when it comes to working something like freaking Chrono Trigger, a game from the 1990s, the game is like, oh, random error message, crash. It's like, it's bullcrap, man. Why? And Square still hasn't fixed it. Like, I just can't play it. Like, I just, man, I want to play Chrono Trigger really badly. It is one of my favorite childhood games, but I just can't because the freaking Steam version crashes and is really distracting, even though it auto saves. I hate when JRPGs crash. They're not supposed to crash because in JRPGs you typically have to do a lot of leveling up and grinding and beating a lot of enemies, and for it to randomly crash, it's not cool. It's not cool at all. But yeah, this video, like I said earlier, it's just clickbait. I'm literally like, to be honest, like my Hollow Knight videos, they got like a good chunk of views, but I haven't even played. I actually no, I did play 10 minutes of Hollow Knight and still wasn't impressed. But yeah, I really didn't give it a fair chance. Maybe it's the greatest game ever. I don't know. I haven't felt like playing it. I'm just not into Metroidvanias and 2D side scrollers. I'm more of a JRPG and action gamer type of person. I mean, it's all subjective at the end of the day. I think I made those videos because I saw some guy saying that someone's opinion was wrong because they didn't like Hollow Knight. And I was like, man, this guy needs to be put in his place. So I'll do that by crapping on Hollow Knight, a game I barely even played. I played it for 10 minutes. It has nice graphics and stuff. And just, yeah, I mean, maybe I'll pick it up someday. Maybe I'll buy it again on PS5. I mean, it's not that expensive. Some people wonder why I always record video game footage with my phone. Why do I not use the PS5 to do that? Well, with my phone, I can just edit what I say, right? I can use the editing app and just edit some stuff and whatnot. I can't really do that with a PS5. And I don't really feel like hooking up my YouTube account to the PS5 for uploading videos. Like, nah, I'm good. I'm just lazy like that. There's this thing called a capture card. I'm not sure how that works. I'm pretty outdated. Like, I grew up pretty broke, right? So when I hear people complain about graphics not looking good nowadays, I'm like, I don't know, the graphics look fine to me. Man, this video got wildly off topic. I've been reading Dragon Ball lately. Finished I finished reading the Akira manga. That was great. I finished reading this other manga called 20th Century Boys, created by Naoki Urasawa, the guy who is responsible for the Monster series. Monster is one of the most popular, well-known niche anime series ever, because that's the weird thing about Monster. It's both popular and not that popular at the same time. Like, a lot of the most popular anime series have cool fight scenes, over the top action. It's all good, completely understandable. I'm not one of those elitists. I like those too. In Monster, it feels a lot more grounded, a little bit more realistic compared to other shonen series, and even for other adult animated series. Monster is pretty grounded. I think Monster. Oh crap! He was about to get back up. I didn't want him to get back up. What is this man's stats? He's worth extracting. Come here, boy. But yeah, I read 20th Century Boys for the first time, and I was expecting it to be the world's greatest manga ever with the reception it got. And I'm going to be honest, it was good. It was definitely good, and it was interesting. It was worth a read, but it won't be my top 10 manga, unfortunately. Maybe I need to reread it again. But Man, there was just some plot moments that just straight up ticked me off. Like that part with okay, so minor spoiler for 20th Century Boys coming up. Like the whole friend, who is the actual friend? If you haven't read 20th Century Boys, you're not gonna know who I'm talking about. But friend is basically this cult leader, and part of the series or part of the manga is figuring out his identity, which uh, the reader will find out, but it's super confusing, and that's all I'll say. That is all I say. Plus, that character, what was her name? The man, that teenage girl character. I forgot her name. Hold on a second. Let me go. Let me just. Let me just. I'll be right back. I'm gonna go pick up the manga real quick and. I'll be right back. I still can't. I mean, if you're watching the video up to this point, I'm actually kind of amazed. Let's see. What was her name? It was Kana. The girl, the character I was talking about was Kana. I thought she would be more interesting, and she's fine, but yeah, I don't know. She's just not as memorable as other Naoki or Urasawa female characters like Nina from Monster, for example. And yeah, I've been reading Dragon Ball recently, and it's really funny. I like Dragon Ball Z, but I will retain that Dragon Ball is a million times better, way more funny, way more wholesome. It was back before the series was all about ki blast and power levels and whatnot. Back in Dragon Ball, a ki blast was like a very big deal, and then once Dragon Ball Z came around, people started using ki blast like they were freaking sticks of gum, like because pretty much everybody could do it. By Dragon Ball Z, pretty much everyone could pretty much blow up a freaking planet. And I just look, I like the Saiyan saga. The Frieza saga, definitely not that good though. Not as good as people make it out to be. Because my biggest issue with the Frieza saga is that not only did it really become about power levels and whatnot, but the setting, the planet Namek, just like this video, is really boring and not that interesting. I mean, with Dragon Ball, you see the characters travel throughout Earth, go through all these different environments, fight all these different types of people and monsters and humanoid animals. I mean, don't get me wrong, the aliens in Dragon Ball Z were cool, but the setting, Namek is just such a dull setting. Like, Team Four Star was right. Like, when Piccolo gets to Namek for the first time in Team Four Star, he's like, God, this place is boring. And he's right. It is freaking boring. I mean, maybe it's subjective. Like, some people are going to like the peaceful vibe of Namek. I personally did not. Then the Android Saga happened, and the villains were, besides Perfect Cell, were way less cool than all the villains in the Namek and Saiyan Saga. Like, Android 18 and 17 and Android 19 and 20 and 16 are stronger than Lord Frieza. Are you kidding me? I mean, I get that they have like a mixture of the best warriors on the planet Earth plus Frieza, but come on, man. The only reason why I like Cell so much though is because he makes up for it with his personality. I mean, androids are fine, but they shouldn't be that tough compared. Like, there was so much build up to Frieza, like, who is Frieza? I mean, this guy took over worlds and whatnot. He's completely evil, and then the build up was worth it. Like, Frieza really was a genuine monster, and now suddenly he's just outpowered by these random robots that could easily kill him. Like, that's just lame. I'm actually glad Super, improved Frieza, because Frieza really got downplayed in Z, especially in GT. Like, oh my goodness. And then the Boo Saga happened, and I like the Boo Saga, but it it just doesn't feel as fun compared to Z. I don't like Kid Trunks. I don't like Gotenks or Goten. I think Goten is basically a less funny, less interesting version of Kid Gohan, and it kind of makes sense because Gohan or Goku. Oh wait, did I just say Goten is Kid Gohan? Well, even then, Kid Gohan is better than Goten, but Kid Goku, he's way more funny and interesting than Goten, because it makes sense because Goku grew up in the forest, was basically an orphan, didn't know any better as a kid, which led to a lot of funny stuff happening with him saying and doing inappropriate stuff. And the thing with Goten is that he's just more sheltered and more spoiled as a result, and I just don't like him. Plus, he's not that funny. He's not as funny as Goten. And then everybody could just suddenly become Super Saiyan. Like, remember that act that you had to, like, Vegeta had to train his butt off to become a Super Saiyan. Goku literally had to do training plus lose a good friend to become Super Saiyan. Trunks had to go through loss plus do training to become Super Saiyan. The same for Gohan too. And then suddenly Goten and Trunks can be just casually turned into Super Saiyans. Like, what is this, the Oprah Winfrey show? Like, everybody can become a Super Saiyan now? That's ridiculous. Like, I don't hate the Boo Saga. I think it has cool fights and stuff, but story wise, like, and no offense to Toriyama, God bless his soul. I am criticizing his work, but trust me, I do like 80% like his stuff. It's just, man, I feel like Super Saiyan should have just been reserved to Goku, Gohan, and Vegeta, and then maybe Kid Trunks and Goten could get it if they went through some rigorous moments to get it. But no, they just casually get it. Like, the whole Super Saiyan thing kind of just became a joke. Like, and then there was Gohan's missed potential. Like, people were like, back then, apparently, and I don't know if this is 100% credible, but apparently Goku wasn't originally going to be the main character anymore, but people wanted him back, so they brought him back. Gohan was supposed to replace Goku, and that just didn't end up happening. And look, I like Goku. Don't get me wrong. I'm not a Goku hater. I don't even really think he's that horrible of a father. Yes, he's not the best father ever, but he's not abusive either or nothing like that. I mean, it's not his fault he has the brain of a freaking irresponsible child.
Analysis complete.
But
Analysis
yeah, I just
complete.
like Dragon Ball way more. Saiyan Saga is good. Namek Saga is good besides the setting. Um, Cell Saga it gets good once Cell gets into the picture. And it's also pretty satisfying seeing Vegeta get his ass kicked by Android 18, because he just became a Super Saiyan. He's all, he thinks he's hot as shit, and then this Android, especially since 18 is a girl, this girl literally beats up Vegeta, crushing his masculinity. Like, oh my gosh, it was satisfying. You know what? Maybe the androids being that overpowered wasn't so bad after all. Well, that's all I gotta say. I gotta start using both hands to play this game now before I end up getting caught. Because I gotta say, man, enemies in Metal Gear Solid 5 can be really aggressive. Like Metal Gear Solid games aren't really hard, especially this one since you get so many options. But because you get so many options in this game for how you do a mission, the enemies feel extra aggressive. If that makes any sense. Like, they can gun you down pretty fast if you let them surround you. Anyway, Hollow Knight will probably be woke because the character is awake.